Welcome,
Blog
everyone,
Talk
to
Radio.
Women. Whoops. Well, I jumped the gun there a little bit, but I think it's because I'm so excited for our guest today. Welcome, everyone, to Women Who Really Rock. I'm your host, Carmen Milagro. Women Who Really Rock is designed to showcase women and people supporting them and who are doing incredible work all around the globe. Our show is available on the Divas That Care network, and you'll find us on the divasthatcare.com website. Today's guest, I'm so proud and honored and happy to introduce to you a personal power expert, advocate for the human spirit, and Navy veteran. Joining us from Houston, welcome, Angelica Marie. Thanks for being on the show with us today.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really excited.
Good. I just want to make sure that I personally want to just make sure that we honor your dedication and service to our country. I think it's important. We've got 4th of July coming up, and I just want to thank you personally on air for everything that you've done to serve our country.
Oh, thank you so much, Carmen. Thank you. I served in the military and actually in the U.S. Navy from 1994 through 1999. So it's quite a while ago, but still, it was probably one of the best years of my life.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you. And maybe we could, just sort of jump in here to get some insight for our listeners into what you do. What do you mean by the title personal power expert? I mean, who are your clients? Who needs a personal power expert?
Oh, my goodness. So I became this personal power expert because of just, honestly, personal experiences.
Sure.
I had to learn how to really earn my own personal power. And I think that for me, that personal power is the essential foundation to the human spirit, period. Because I think just in reality, none of us live in a bubble, and we are interconnected with other people. And how we relate and how we communicate and how, all of that has everything to do with the exchange of power and exchange of relationship that we have with each other, right? And sometimes unbeknownst to us that we tend to give away our power by, the first thing that comes to my head right now is like people pleasing. Instead we focus so much on trying to please other people versus doing activities and pleasing ourselves. And so we end up losing a part of us, a part of our soul. You know what I'm saying? And so
I think I do. Would it be
leaps?
Sure. I was just going to say that. It feels like what you're talking about is our soulful energy from within. If we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not replenishing, and you just keep giving it away, nurturing everybody else, then that is that loss that we experience in different ways. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yes, exactly. And
okay.
So what happens with that, and just to kind of real quick, what happens with that too is that when we are giving away all of our energy, all our power just leaking, our energy is just leaking, then we're not honoring that soul, right? Just how you just mentioned. And therefore, we can't attract in the things that light us up. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We're just like, we remain separate from that. So what I do with the personal power is I integrate all of that.
And who are your clients? Who needs, in your opinion, that personal power expert like yourself?
Okay, so my clients vary, to be honest with you, but I have to admit, I do tend to attract in more Latina entrepreneurs because I'm a Latina. But I have attracted in quite a bit of females, women, who, for me, the ones who are wanting to make some kind of impact in the world, yet they have probably come through a lot of challenges and sometimes a lot of trauma in their lives. Those are the ones that I end up attracting.
Sure.
Because that was a journey that I lived. So I just know how to
Sure.
navigate all of that really well and have come out on
Mhm.
the other side. So I tend to recognize when someone has gone through that gauntlet. And
Sure.
then,
Sure.
it
Of
just
course.
needs that help, just needs that guidance so that they don't keep beating themselves up.
Right. And it sounds like, from what I'm hearing you say, is, again, like attracts like. And so if your experience is based in that core position, then other people are going to recognize that and see you for the leader that you are. And you're providing a service to them, but you can also relate to them because of that personal energy, that personal connection. And for me, it sounds like, when we are put on this earth to do a certain job, sometimes it takes us a while to get there, but once you get there, like, you just know.
Oh yeah. And of course, like we all, like I told you in the beginning, yes, I come from the military, so I kind of use this thing that, we are born with a mission, and it is our duty to carry it out. And you will. I mean, I really do believe that none of us do this alone. So, along with the personal
Mhm.
powers, there's a lot of spiritual aspect to that. And so, like again, like what I do is I help guide the women on to their purpose and to their mission. Because until you're there, you're gonna have a lot of challenges in your life. Like God will course correct you. In other words.
Right. And
Mhm.
and when you say also, in part of what you do is you want to help others find their champion within. How do you
Yes.
help them do this?
So what I do is is kind of like intuitive readings to some extent. And what I mean by that is that I look at the soul. I I just know how energy works, first of all. And what I do is that I help bring out that childlike spirit. The childlike spirit is the most high vibrational energy, and that's the one that's very connected to the divine, to the universe, to
Hmm.
God, whoever that is for them, right?
Sure.
Therefore, therefore, what I do is that I help connect them to the childlike spirit, who is also their soul, so that they can become very, very super magnetic, and so that that soul has a mission, is what it does. So I just have to kind of look at them. I just ask them a lot of questions, and I can hear it from their voice what lights them up. And then I start going with that. The moment I kind of like I hear it, then I start going down that path. I start, hearing, you know what I'm saying? Because all I'm
Sure.
doing is hearing their passion and their passion. It's just like, I know when I get passionate.
Right. I can tell right now.
Yeah, I just love it because I just know how energy works. So a part of it, of course, is the personal power, but along with that is that energy, because most people respond to your energy. I mean, that's
Sure.
firsthand. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm getting a call, and I don't know if it's interfering.
Oh, no, it's okay. We don't hear it. So go ahead.
Okay, good. So I apologize for that. So honestly, it's just what I do is when I do the intuitive readings is just really taking them on this journey about what's inside within themselves, what lights them up, what what turns them off too. Because believe it or not,
Sure.
that helps. I mean, that helps me personally on there. How
Hmm.
to navigate them. I do. And the other part to it, when I start talking about energy, is that I talk about their spiritual, their emotional, their mental, and their physical, because it's all of it. It's not just what's up in the head. A
Hmm.
lot of people tend
Sure.
to focus on that, but it's really bringing all those four areas and integrating them so that they're coming into their power. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain.
Right. No. So the 4 areas, that would be the heart is one, I would assume.
The heart, yes, the
And
heart,
then
the mind,
uh-huh.
the heart, the mind, and the action, the physical action that you take, and then of course the spiritual part, and that's where the soul comes in. That's where the divine connection comes in.
Right.
Because
right.
I just had experiences, Carmen. I just had so many experiences in my life where there had been what I call mystical experiences. And
Sure.
I've just had these miracles happen where I know I'm not doing that on my own. I know I'm not doing that on my own.
Right.
So,
And how you do it, Angelica, like what are the strategies that, I mean, we have technology and we have intuitive reading. How do you combine that? How do you meet with your clients? Is it always just one-on-one? What are the 3 strategies that you use?
well,
The top
actually,
3.
yeah, the top 3. Honestly, I do a lot of one-on-one. So right now, what I'm doing, what I'm beginning to do is something a little bit different. Is that I'm doing what I call the intuitive mapping of the soul. So that's just basically an introductory to the work that I do, and it's a 2-hour session. And again, I kind of start doing the mapping about what lights them up and so forth. After we kind of discover that, then I invite them if they would like to do, of course, the longer term one-on-one coaching. I know for my other group for Latina entrepreneurs, because they're a little bit more business focused, it's still the same thing. Because energy is energy, and my goal with them, with the Latina entrepreneurs, well, I don't know if I want to go there yet, and I guess we can go there in a little bit, but again, is to get them into their personal power, because my mission with the Latina entrepreneurs is to actually help them elevate and break the statistic that we are less than 1% millionaire earners, right? So with them, that strategy is to create more of a community, like a community program, training program, so that yes, they're working on their personal power, and then they're also integrating the business strategies and all that fun stuff around business. So that's
right. So it's another layer.
It's another layer, exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
So you do the one-on-one coaching, you do this 2-hour consultation, let's say, you do long-term coaching. Do you ever do anything like videos for people? And, is that one of the tools that you use? Because, of course, we're in the modern age where you can reach a lot of different people in, different formats, like what we're doing right now on the podcast.
Yeah, so yes, I do video. I do, yes, I have to say I probably do more in my Latina entrepreneurs right now. That has been my primary focus for this summer, and actually earlier, including this year. And then I have and I do videos mainly in my Facebook group is what I do. And then, of course, I have the Angelica Marine Facebook page where I'll pop in and I'll do videos just on the general, and how talk about self-worth, talking about, again, personal power, energy, where it's just not business focus is what it is. It's just more personal focus. Sure.
So you can break it out into two. You figure out who needs you where, and you're basically taking the core, as I'm understanding it, you're taking the core process, but then you can customize it to the personal one-on-one growth for someone and the entrepreneurial growth. Is that correct?
Exactly. That's what I do, because everyone's needs are different, so.
Sure, of course. Now I'm gonna ask you, this is a little diss. I'm not asking you to name any names, but are there any clients that you refuse to work with, for some reason, like someone's energy was just so, not blending with yours? Does that happen? Because this is such a personal approach. When you're taking on someone's energy, I would think that that's also you have to safeguard yourself. I'm assuming.
Yes, you know what, Carmen? Yes. Now, how can how do I want to say this? I'm going to be honest with you. I know when a woman, and because I work mainly with women, you're going to hear that more from coming from me. But I know when women have their hearts very closed, that they're just not ready yet. Because the type of work that I also do is a lot of it's very deep work, and they have to be ready to hear that truth. And sometimes that truth really is not pretty, and they have to be very open. They have to really want a desire to change. And I know when a person is there and when they're ready or not. And I just know it.
Right. And how do you handle that? Do you say to them, I'm sorry, we can't work together right now? And how would someone take that if they're already closed?
I've had an incident where, truth, part of it is, first of all, my packages aren't exactly they're pretty high. I do offer premium packages, right? And that has a lot to do with is the woman really ready? Because it's something that has to be activated inside of them, right? So sometimes just by simply offering them that package, I know when someone's ready, and if they're really, really ready, they'll step up. If they're not, and if they have that closed heart, they'll make all kinds of excuses, and then I have to have that conversation.
It sounds right, and it sounds like, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it sort of sounds like, from your entrepreneurial approach, you've priced your services in such a way, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth. I'm trying to understand. This is what I'm hearing, that you've priced your packages in such a way that if someone is not willing and or able to invest in themselves, then that's the first indication that they're not ready to be your client. Is that safe to say?
Yes, that is.
Okay, that makes sense, right? Because for me, right, personal growth and education and constantly learning and networking and investing in yourself is, in my opinion, one of the number one ways to grow your business, whatever that is. Now I'm speaking from the entrepreneurial, Carmen, of course. So, but that makes perfect sense to me. If someone's not ready. And I know of, a few other friends who are personal coaches that have a different approach than what you do, but it's still the same thing. They're offering services for people to invest in themselves. And if they don't see the value from the beginning, then it's not going to work. I mean, that would be a disaster waiting to happen, and the way I'm seeing it.
Exactly.
What else? What's next for you? Like, where can we connect with you? How do people find you? I want to make sure that we have plenty of time for you to tell us how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, so honestly, the best way to get a hold of me, to connect with me, is through Facebook and LinkedIn. Okay. So I'm doing some updating on some of my profile, but LinkedIn is one of the places that I do post quite a bit, and Facebook.
Okay.
Those are the two best ways.
Angelica Marie Entrepreneur on LinkedIn, is that correct?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And then what about Instagram?
I am on Instagram. Okay, so I'm on Instagram, and even if you were to connect with me on Facebook, it's at Latina Entrepreneur.
Got it.
So you need to find by my full name, but on Instagram you probably find me better at Latina Entrepreneur. I haven't updated quite in some time on my Instagram, but I do give really great content. I'm pretty detailed on there.
Okay, so we can find you at Latina Entrepreneur. That's your handle, so that's where we can find you on Facebook. Angelica Marie, entrepreneur on LinkedIn. And I think, it's funny because I run into this all the time as well. We're so busy doing all these other things that sometimes, we don't get a chance to have the best profiles, social media profiles. And it's it's that whole thing, right? The cobbler's children's, don't have the nicest shoes because the cobbler's so busy taking care of everyone else. And I think that is sort of that idea. Here we are talking about, how do we get our personal growth, working with you, finding that personal power. And yet, because we are solo entrepreneurs, sometimes we need a little bit of help. So I want to put this out there. If anyone is able and willing to support us entrepreneurs on our journey, and they can help with these sorts of social media posts and all of that, let's connect.
Yeah.
Let's help each other out. That's what we're trying to do here on Women Who Really Rock. That is what our platform on Divas That Care Network, that is the whole reason for all of these interviews that we do. And, I just want to thank you for spending your morning. I know you're busy, and I'm sure you have clients to get back to, but thank you so much, Angelica Marie, for being my guest today on Women Who Really Rock.
Oh, thank you so much, Carmen. I really enjoyed this. Loved it.
Good. And, we will be posting on Facebook and all of that. Give me, a little bit of leeway there. I will get it up there. We'll put all the links out there for people to take a listen, and they can, repeat and relearn things on their own. And to everyone out there, our listeners, I want to thank you for tuning into Women Who Really Rock podcast, because we want to be able to uplift you and inspire you while we showcase other women like today's guest, Angelica Marie. And we want to also, support or focus on people who support us doing the work that we do around the globe. So until next time, I hope you continue to rock it, Angelica Marie. I know you give your heart and your soul to your clients, and thank you for doing the work that you do and the service that you have given our country. And I hope you'll come back and join me.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much, Carmen.
Great. Thank you. Remember, you can find us here on the Divas That Care Network, and that website is divasthatcare.com. Have a great day. Keep rocking it.